Hey everyone, welcome to Enabling Influencers in Sharing. I hope you're having an awesome connect so far, and thanks for tuning in. So in this talk, we are going to dive into how sharing with others is a really important part of the VR experience, how to make your game watchable and accessible for folks who might not be wearing a headset, and finally, a peek at some new features that we're going to be releasing soon to help even more folks discover your app. My name is Greg Smith, and I'm a product manager on the VR developer team here at Facebook. My team's focus is to help developers promote their apps by building human connections between users inside and outside of VR. So let's get to it. To tee up what we're going to talk about today, it's really important to understand that our users really care about sharing their VR experience with the people around them. And kind of think about it, VR is a magical experience, especially when you put on a headset and experience it for yourself. That said, for many potential users, the first time they experience VR may be on a 2D surface, either via casting, live streaming, or video on demand. So the question then is, how can we make these first impressions of VR and potentially your app as great as possible? One of the ways that our users share is via casting, either to the Oculus app or from iOS and Android or to Chromecast devices. And since the beginning of 2020, over 30% of monthly active users on average cast every month. And this grows to over half of users during the holidays. And here is an example of casting in action in the Oculus app on iOS and Android. And if you have seen this before, you may notice something might seem a little bit different. More on that a little bit later. Now, casting is a great way to get a wide range of users showing off your experience to their friends and family. But how can you set up your experience so that influencers can showcase it to their large audiences? We're going to talk about a few techniques that you can use to make sure your game or experience is watchable and ensuring that the folks watching it have all the context that they need to understand the magic that you've created. When you're setting up your game for influencers, the first step is to get your app ready for mixed reality capture, or MRC, which enables folks to create videos of themselves appearing inside the VR world using only a typical streamer setup and a well-lit green screen. In April of 2020, we released a free tool for everyone that between studios and influencers can use to create MRC content. And this works with Quest, Quest 2, and PC VR, including Quest and Quest 2 Plus Link for supported games. Now, if you're looking to tap into more of a core audience, gaming audience rather, with live streaming, strongly consider having a PC VR, version of your game. So live streaming is long-form content with a heavy reliance on a broadcaster interacting with their audience, as well as high-end visuals. Now, existing broadcaster tools on the PC are very well set up for this, and you don't have to worry about battery life when you're plugged into a PC. Finally, MRC is ready to go for supported PC VR games, including Quest and Quest 2 Plus Link, that integrates easily into popular broadcasting software. Now, apart from including MRC into your app, it's important to think about how you can make it watchable. For someone not in a headset, what information do they need to understand your experience and want to participate in it themselves? What if they come in and you're already partway into the action? One of the big advantages of MRC is that it spins up a second camera in your experience. Which means you can control what is displayed on that camera without impacting what the player sees. So think about what context you might want to add or what you might want to take away. It's also important to think about the actual influencers who will be creating the content around your experience. Is your game or experience better solo or with others? Does it work great in a small space, or should you have them in a larger studio? How do players move around your world? In the case of MRC, it's important to think about when you have controller-based locomotion that you don't create this kind of ice skating effect with it appearing like a player is just kind of skating across your environment. You could probably give them rollerblades, but I would not recommend doing that. And it's just in general very useful to try creating this content yourself so that well, one, you'll understand how others are creating content around it, but also you may create some really cool stuff yourself. And when this all comes together with a great set of influencers, a thoughtful design, it can really help make your experience even more fun and approachable. So we're going to actually check out a clip from a studio session with the Warp Zone as they play a competitive game of real VR fishing to see how this all comes together.
Brian, talk us through your fishing strategy, bud.
Yeah, what's going through your head?
Oh, so I'm jiggling the bait here, getting interested in it.
Every fisherman knows you gotta kind of like tease the fish.
You gotta jiggle the bait.
You gotta jiggle the bait.
Yeah, you gotta jiggle the bait.
You gotta think it's real. Come on.
That thing?
Zelda.
Come on, buddy.
I mean, they have that. Did you not ever play?
No. Oh, you got it. Okay.
All right. Easy does her. Easy does her.
Easy does her. Oh, pull to the right. Pull to the right. Go. Here we go. You're bringing it in. Pull to the left. Pull to the left.
Good, Brian.
Nice.
You said this was relaxing.
Nice and easy. You just wanna settle them in.
Bring him in. Catch it. Yeah. Wait, show behind you.
Yeah, that's a fish right there.
This is insane.
Okay, awesome. That was really fun. So in this case, while the game didn't have a lot of physicality, the larger studio space opened up more opportunities for the Warp Zone folks to play off of each other and created some really fun emergent moments. So sometimes mixing and matching and kind of playing opposite to what you think might work can create some really cool opportunities. Okay, so we've talked about how you can use mixed reality capture to support influencers, but now let's talk about how you can actually integrate it into your experience. Last year, we introduced mixed reality capture for Oculus Quest and delivered APIs for Unity, Unreal 4, as well as our native SDK. Since then, many games have integrated MRC, including Beat Saber, Superhot, and more. These games have used MRC for everything from trailers, influencer videos, and even major live broadcasts. Now, in terms of the actual integration, you'll be spinning up a second camera in your app while MRC is active, and it's actually oriented to the same spot as the physical camera in the real world, which allows us to composite everything together and really create that magical effect. And if you're using Unity or Unreal 4, a lot of that heavy lifting will be done for you. Our team has also done a lot of work optimizing the MRC camera to really minimize any performance trade-offs that you might see. And this fall, we are going to be adding GPU boosting on Quest while MRC is active for Unity and Unreal 4 titles. And in 2021, we'll be supporting our native SDK as well. There was also, at the previous Connect, a pretty detailed talk about mixed reality capture, and I would highly encourage you to watch it. You can find that as well as information about our APIs on the Oculus developer site. Including mixed reality capture in your game is a great way to start supporting influencers. But now I'd actually like to pivot a little bit and discuss some new ways that we're enabling sharing on Oculus, enabling you to tap into an even wider pool of potential sharers and promoters of your content. So first, we've added record while casting to the Oculus app, enabling our users to create and share videos of your experience directly from your mobile device. Let's check it out. So with the push of a button, a user can easily record videos up to 30 minutes in length, which are then saved to their device, make it easy for them to edit and share it with the folks they care about. We're also working on boosting the resolution when casting to the Oculus app to ensure that these videos look even better. Apps that have enabled casting and recording as part of their app submission will get this automatically. And if you already have something in the store, you already have done this work. And this is an opportunity to take advantage of that huge group of users that are already casting, especially with the holidays coming up, to help them share what your app is like with the folks inside the room and outside the room. And we're going to be initially rolling this out in the next few weeks. Okay, here's something that I'm really excited to share with you. Spectator mode. So what you're watching now is a prototype of a controllable third-person camera inside Dead and Buried 2. Except the user controlling the camera is not wearing the headset. So spectator mode enables users in the Oculus app on iOS and Android to control a third-person camera around a developer-defined anchor point in VR space, just using gestures on the mobile device, and really giving them a chance to participate in the action even if they're not wearing a headset. And users can basically rotate the camera around a developer-defined anchor point, kind of in a sphere, and they can zoom in and out based off of a radius defined by the developer. Additionally, developers can define multiple anchor points that users can enumerate through to really enable you to present your experience in the best way possible. And it can also unlock new ways for folks to engage with your content. And the great news is, if you've already integrated mixed reality capture into your application, you're already 80% of the way there, as spectator mode uses a lot of the same APIs as mixed reality capture. This feature is going to work out of the box with record while casting, which enables you to tap into that huge group of casting users, which again, on average, 30% of monthly Quest users since the beginning of 2020, and it goes to over half during the holidays. We are going to be publicly releasing APIs and rolling this feature out in the coming months, so stay tuned. Before we finish, I'd like to highlight a few key takeaways. First, if you have not done so already, take advantage of mixed reality capture in your app. There's benefits today, and you can set yourself up well for the future. Next, think about how you can make your game watchable and what information you might need to convey to someone who's not wearing a headset. Finally, try creating content yourself. It helps you understand how influencers might be creating in your app, but also you might create something pretty awesome yourself. All right, that's it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Connect. See you around.